do this, but I gotta say what I gotta say. So the video you're about to watch is a video that me and Try did. I think we did this around November. The top five Juice Crew albums, and we were planning on doing it because it was said that there was a EP by the Juice Crew members that was gonna be produced by RZA. But the EP, as of right now, as the recording of this, has not come out. To be honest with you, so I'm just like, well, I gotta drop the video anyway. But by the time I was getting ready to drop the video, it just came to report that Tyrone Williams, who is better known as Fly Ty, has passed away. And in case you guys don't know, Fly Ty is pretty much the man that pretty much founded Cold Chillin' Records. And he pretty much started out as a radio DJ before he became like a manager and whatnot. And that pretty much led a doorway to forming the legendary record label Cold Chillin' Records. Now, Cold Chillin' Records was home to many acts like Big Daddy Kane, MC Shan, Coogee Rap, Roxanne Shante, and so on and so on. And they were instrumental in forming hip hop's first supergroup, the Juice Crew. They pretty much birthed a lot of classic hip hop albums. Just to name a few: Long Live the Kane by Big Daddy Kane, Road to the Riches by Coogee Rap and DJ Polo, Going Off by Biz Markie, Master Ace, Take a Look Around, and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? So that sound in hip hop pretty much raised the bar high and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? As it gave a starting sound for Queensbridge, and you know what I'm saying. And Queensbridge would end up being one of the most influential boroughs, not just in New York, but also one of the most influential places in hip hop history, in my opinion. So, and you gotta understand some of my Cold Chillin' records and whatnot too. You know, they definitely raised the bar high when it came to like hip hop labels, as it was really one of hip hop's first major distribution deals with Warner Brothers and everything like that too. And that led the doorway to many other distributions down the line when it comes to hip hop and whatnot. So a lot of this stuff that happened, Ty Fly, pretty much started and everything. So I want to dedicate this video to the legacy of Fly Ty, and also the legacy of the Juice Crew, because we lost a lot of members from the Juice Crew in these past couple of years, from like Biz Markie to DJ Polo to fucking TJ Swan and whatnot too. So rest in peace to Fly Ty. Hello, shit. What's good, YouTube? How y'all doing? No, this is not MC Shan. This is Reg in the building. I got my favorite motherfucker I do podcasts with, the motherfucker who talking the most shit. My boy
Yo,
Tribero Gigolo. How you doing, boss?
chilling, what up?
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So by the time we recording this in November. So I'm trying to do this ahead. That whole Juice Crew shit, the Juice Crew EP that RZA is allegedly producing and stuff like that. So I said to try. This might be a two-part series. This is gonna be our top five Juice Crew albums, and then we're also gonna do a top Marty Mall productions on Juice Crew albums and stuff like that too. You know, this was originally gonna be a top 10, but I was like, you know what, top five. I feel like that's gonna be much more grounded and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So this one's kind of hard for me because as a hip hop head, Juice Crew has been like one of those groups. Has been one of those groups that, well, excuse me, collectives that was like superheroes, like the fucking hip hop Avengers and stuff like that too. From Kane, you had Marley Marl, you had fucking what's his name? What's his name? Biz Markie, the late great Biz Markie, Shan, Roxanne Shante, Mr. I mean, so many cats came from the Juice Crew. Hell, even some of the later cats like Granddaddy IU, rest in peace to him. Tragedy Gaddafi, back when he was known as the Intelligent Hoodlum and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So we've done reviews on almost all the Juice Crew albums and stuff like that too. But what was really the album that just defined the Juice Crew? So now I do have a few honorable mentions, but we're gonna get into that when we get into that. I'm gonna start with my number five. So this one it's an album that I definitely grew up with as a hip hop head. An album when it comes to hip hop debuts, I always feel like this album does not get its just due when it comes to hip hop debuts and stuff like that too. And 1990 was a very, very strong year for hip hop. And this might be a top contender for album of that year. Master Ace with Take a Look Around. My number five pick. This album came out July 24th, 1990. I feel like this might be his most underrated album he's ever came out with. This is back when he was known as Master Ace, not Master Ace, but that's besides the point. Um, he had his breakthrough on the Juice Crew, and then he dropped his first single, Together. You know what I'm saying? So 1 year later, 1990, he came out with this album and stuff like that too. Mostly produced by Marley Marl and Mr. C. And Master Ace also did some production here and there. This album, the sound of this album was like so fucking soulful, yet hard at the same time too. Like this was known for songs like "Me and the Biz," which crazy story about that song. That song, if you watch the Biz Markie documentary that came out like last year, um, Biz was supposed to have been on that record, but I think he was running late. So Master Ace did his own rendition of Biz Markie, and apparently Biz Markie kind of had an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? And Master Ace kind of told that whole story. Y'all have to watch the documentary for yourselves. Music Man, I love that record. Brooklyn Battles, one of Marley Marl's best beats he's ever done. The way he flipped that Eddie Kendrick sample was amazing. Um, Postin' High, I love that record. I have the vinyl of this album, and I'm mad that they don't have Postin' High on that. And because I have the 1995 reissue, and that Postin' High, that had like a Crusader sample, that Street Life sample, which that was a hard song to clear and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Um, he had this one joint called Maybe Next Time. That last verse when he said all the sitcoms, that might be one of his best verses he's came out with and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this album to me, one of the best albums from the Juice Crew, in my opinion. That's my number five. Oops.
All right, number five, I got Big Daddy Kane, second album. It's a Big Daddy thing. Only a couple songs produced by Marley on here. Young Gifted and Black, which is my favorite joint, and the rap summary, Lean on Me soundtrack and movie, and this was dope, man. But definitely a classic sophomore album from Kane, and Kane, when you see him in concert, you don't go past this the second album. Like he does stuff from the first album and then second, and then that's it. I do a couple
Right.
freestyles, but when I saw him live a couple years ago, he didn't do nothing past this album. So that's the testament of his discography. Like his first two are like considered his best. I enjoy it. And this album also had like Teddy Riley and other producers on here, but for the three joints that Marley did, definitely some great stuff.
Definitely. Fucking dope album and stuff like that too. My number four. This one's. I'm trying to pick like one album from each artist and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Trying to make it different. You know what I'm saying? This is another underrated album from the Clown Prince of Hip Hop, Mr. Biz Markie. And my personal favorite album is 1991's I Need a Haircut. Um, very, very, very dope album to me. His best album he's done. Some of his best production is on this album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So this album is kind of a controversial album because they had this joint called "Alone Again" that sampled the Gilbert O'Sullivan song, and pretty much he got sued. Him and Warner Brothers Records got sued by Gilbert O'Sullivan's fucking label and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And this was the catalyst that had people saying that you had to actually clear your samples before it got approved. Which niggas still don't have samples clear, but that's I'm not gonna sample snitch. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, this album. Besides that, this album has some of my favorite songs. What goes around comes around, which I personally called that just a friend part two. in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I love the way he used that emotion sample. Um, let go of my ego, let go of my ego. To me, that is like a proto RZA beat. If you listen to that record and shit like that, you will know what I'm talking about. Um, my favorite Bismarcky song, Toilet Stool Rap. Yes, that's my favorite Bismarcky song. Sitting on a toilet, waiting for my bowels to move. I got to doo doo. Yes, I got it. I don't know how I know all the lyrics to that song, but fuck it. You
Yeah,
know what
how
I'm
do you?
saying? Hey, hey, man. Romeo and Juliet. I mean, hmm, this whole fucking album was just some of Biz's most charismatic songs and stuff like that. I was so close to picking Going Off, but I'm just like, you know what? Let me go for the lesser known one. Like this list is gonna be crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna educate y'all motherfuckers tonight.
All right. Number four, I got Intelligent Hoodlum, the debut album. We did a review on this. Great
Nice.
production from Marley and Tragedy, Gaddafi. You know, you had joints like Back to Reality and Black and Proud, and I think this album is heavily slept on. Like we don't discuss this album enough. You know, it's like people forget that he was an Intelligent Hoodlum first, and then he went to Tragedy Gaddafi and did the stuff with CNN and Thug Matrix and all that. But this is the beginning of all that, and just a great album. Definitely an album that needs to be played during these times now. You know, for this country. And
Right.
yeah, I loved it.
Very dope album. My number three is gonna be another surprise. This might be my favorite album from this rapper. An album that I never hear a lot of Juice Crew heads talk about. MC Shan's Born to Be Wild. This is actually Shan's second album. Now, MC Shan, looking back at some of the reviews we done, I went a bit hard on some of those
I
albums.
didn't. I didn't.
Cause his first album, I didn't really care for his first album like that. Some songs was cool, but it's that left me lonely. Oh my god, I'm never mind on that. But this album right here, man, this album he just took a whole 360. And for one, it wasn't really no singles from his album. Two, Marley Marl produced his whole fucking album and shit like that. This might be some of Marley's best beats he's ever done, in my opinion, because it had like a very jungle groove to a lot of these songs. Like "Give Me My Freedom," dun 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 dun. I love that record. So Deaf. I love the way how they filter that Ohio player sample and shit. Now, history might want you to think that he never responded to KRS One with the Brit after the KRS One dropped the bridges over, but he did have a song he aimed back at KRS One called Juice Crew Law. Man, that is an underrated diss track right there. Like, ooh, no one talks about Juice Crew Law. He went in on that track. You know what I'm saying? Never Rock a Party. Love that record. They used to do it out in the park. That whenever you hear that hip hop, that's where that sample came from and shit. You know what I'm saying? I pioneered this. I mean, yo, this is one of those under like it's crazy because niggas don't talk about this album and shit like that. And I kind of feel like it's due to the bridge wars or whatever. People were quick to write out Shan, and 1988 was also the year you had Kane doing his thing,
Yeah.
Biz doing his thing, Roxanne was about to blow up and shit. Like this one kind of went under the radar,
Mhm.
and I hate to say it, Shan don't have the best discography and stuff like that too. Because the third album, Played Again, Shan, I did not like that record. Besides a few songs here and there, and yeah, man, very very underrated album in my opinion. I need to get my hands on this record. I was so close to getting it one time, but some motherfucker bought it before me,
For an
bastard.
MC of his caliber, he should have classic albums in his discography. I don't like none of his
Yeah,
you know, I think those beats that LL got for Mom to Knock You Out, that could have been for Shan too.
I
Like
heard some of them was originally for Shan.
it was for Shan.
Some of them was originally for. I heard. I could be wrong.
I could hear him on those tracks, like Milky Cereal and You know, of course,
Mm.
it probably wouldn't have been like the same type of concept, but he definitely would have killed those lyrically. You know, because he's always been a dope lyricist. I just don't like his production on his album. You know,
And mind you, Shannon and LL beefed too. Believe it or
right,
not,
right,
you know
right.
that's crazy.
Put him on a joint like on Jingling Baby, I think he would have killed it.
I think you
You
would
know,
have killed 6 minutes of pleasure too. Believe it or not.
yeah, you know. Number three, I got Bismarck going off. I definitely one of my favorite Biz albums. Big hits on that record, Vapors and Make the Music with Your Mouth, Biz, and Nobody Beats the Biz. Classic.
Nobody.
Rest in peace, Biz Markie, man. I love this album. Definitely got to be in the top three for me.
Definitely. That was so close to make. That was so close to making my list. But I was like, let me give love to. I need a haircut. Let me give love
Right.
to that one.
Another great album.
Yeah. His first
Yeah.
going off, and I need to hear all my favorite albums from him.
Yeah.
The Biz Never Sleeps was okay. It was just a bit too commercial for me.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm kind of burnt out from Just a Friend because it's like everybody loves Just a Friend, but to me, give me Vapors, give me
Right.
Business Going Off. Like y'all don't talk about like he was actually mind you, Big Daddy Kane wrote with the whole of Going Off and shit. Like,
Right.
come on.
Well,
And
I
I
mean,
like
he's singing on there, so it's like it's friendly. It's friendly to like the casual rap fans. So it's like if they didn't listen to Biz before, that's a song that they could get into to his discography with.
yeah,
You
but
know.
to me, I mean, I remember when I first heard Vapors,
Mhm.
that shit blew my mind, and then the fact that even Snoop Dogg covered that shit too,
Right. Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah, man, he had his other song, Picking Boogers. That
Right.
was my, oh my
Right.
god, like that. Marley did that basement groove. Like
Mhm.
every time I hear going up, I just picture myself like in a basement,
Yeah.
block parties, shit like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Uh, my
Yeah.
number two. Now this was an album that was more recognized in the street than the mainstream, and I'm gonna explain that. Cool G rapper DJ Polo, Live and Let Die, nigga, nigga.
Mm.
If Wanted Dead or Alive was the first mafioso rap album, then Live and Let Die blew that lid off, in my opinion. Before Only Built for My Cuban Links, before it was written, before Reasonable Doubt, it was this album right here. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? This was the true mafioso album. Now, granted, I'm surprised I'm showing the album cover here because we see the two white guys getting hung up on nooses while G Rap and Polo are robbing the bank. First of all, rest in peace to DJ Polo, by the way. Rest in
Yes.
peace to him.
Yeah. Rest in
You know,
peace.
yeah, man. So this whole album was just fucking crazy as hell. Mafioso rap, gangster rap, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I mean, you had production from Sir Jinx, Ice Cube's cousin,
Hmm.
Track Masters. Yes, that Track Masters. This was
Yeah.
back when they were not the fucking who do you love the shit that they were LL and Foxy, which I love that shit. Don't get I
Right.
love that fucking shit, but
Right.
back in like the early '90s when they were doing shit for the real Roxanne, G
Hmm.
Rap, it was more street with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And of course, G Rap also did some production on here too. Man, this whole album, man, where do I even begin? Songs like
Hmm.
Train Robbery, Fire, Crime Pays. Probably one of the few songs where G Rap actually went political, where he's talking a song that's very relevant today. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Because he's talking about how like, the politicians can get away with a lot of shit, but when our people try to do crimes and shit like that, we're so quick to get fucking chastised and stuff like that. They are so quick to give the fucking nooses and y'all know what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know where I'm getting at. Number one with the bullet with Big Daddy Kane, one of Kane's best guest appearances ever, in my
Right.
opinion. On the Run, I like the video version of On the Run more than the album version. The video version just fits G Rap. That dun 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 bum 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 bum. That beat was just so ill. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, Sir Jinx. This was around the time when Sir Jinx was doing shit for Q
Right.
and stuff like that too. And like He was already on a roll with fucking America's Most Wanted and Death Certificate, and also that same time he dropped Yo Yo's Make Way for the Motherload album, which very underrated album. Don't even get me started on
Yep, yep.
that album. Ooh, don't even get me
Mhm.
started. But yeah, man, I love when I talk about hip hop like this because I just get so amped up and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Yeah, Live and Let Die, man. Classic album in my opinion.
definitely. Um, Number two, I got Coogee Rap and DJ Polo. Road to
Yes,
the
sir.
Riches, classic album. It's a demo, truly yours, classics. I love Coogee Rap and rest in peace to DJ Polo and some of Marley's finest production on this album. You know, I think all their albums were classic together.
Fact.
And wasn't Bobby Brown supposed to work with him around this point, around this time?
Yeah, they were supposed to have done an album. I think Large Professor was supposed to produce the
Yeah.
album for Bobby Brown and Coogee Rap, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Lost Pro talked about that in the interview. Like he had did a track on here, right? And he talked about that Bobby and G Rap was supposed to work together. But
Yep.
I don't know if it ever happened or if it didn't happen, but that would have been interesting to see Bobby Brown and this is Bad Boy Bobby Brown when he was at the height of his career in R&B, you know, every little step
Right.
with G Rap. That would have been interesting. That definitely I felt like Bobby was he knew how to push people's buttons and like yo, if those joints would have came out, man, that would have been crazy.
That would have been insane.
Yeah, I don't think no edition would have took him back after after that. Oh, man.
Oh shit. I'm telling you, man. Like if G Rap, Large P, and Bobby Brown would have came out with that album, that's because Bobby was supposed to come out with that Mystic Voyage
Mhm.
album and stuff like that.
Yeah,
He had that one song called "Take a Piece of My Heart," some shit like that too.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that song was ill as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Crazy, crazy.
Mm-mm.
But he was too busy doing crazy
Yeah.
shit. But I'm gonna keep my shit on that. Um, and my number one, this is the album I think about when I think of Juice Crew. Big Daddy Kane's "Long Live the Kane." You know what I'm saying? I mean, this might be the most seminal album for the Juice Crew, in my opinion. The album that to me was one of the greatest debuts for one of my favorite MCs of all time, but just gave that style. It just that style of the album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what Marley Marl and allegedly Big Daddy Kane did on the production was crazy. And I
Right.
say allegedly because Kane said he produced some tracks on this album where he didn't really get a lot of credit because that's how it was back in that time. But Marley Marl, he definitely did his thing on the production, like songs like "Ain't No Half Steppin'."
Mm.
I mean, that's a classic record. Just rhyming with Biz, I love that record. You know what I'm saying? I mean, "The Day You're Mine," "Set It Off." That's the thing about this album too. This album is so versatile because he was talking about a lot of shit from Black Pride with songs like "Word to the Motherland." He even had his own love song, "I'll Take You There." But then but it's the braggadocio shit like "Set It Off," "Raw." Even though this album had the remix, I like the original version. But then there was another version he did with Coogee Rap and stuff like that too. Y'all should check that shit out and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, this whole album is fire in my opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite Kane album. His first two albums are my favorite.
Yeah. And number one for me is Kane. Long Live the Kane classic. I remember back in '88, I got this on cassette back then for Christmas, and I got a Huffy bike and I got a microscope and some other gifts, but like that was like one of my favorite gifts, you know, that Christmas was the Big Daddy Kane album on cassette. And then of course many years later I got it on CD and it's always been my favorite Kane album and Ain't No Half Steppin', everybody knows that song, classic. You know, I'll Take You There with the Mavis Staples sample and
Right.
I love it. Set It Off Raw remix. Just Rhyming with Biz is one of my favorite collabs. Him and Biz Marquee, and Def Squad has sampled that for that El Nino album that you don't like. And I just love for 10 songs. It's just a great album, man. Like Marley did his thing on this album. But to me, it's Marley's one of Marley's best produced albums ever.
I agree.
You know?
Now, before I go to my honorable mention, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think was Marley Marl's best year as a producer?
I like him in the like the 90s, like 90 93 94, like when he was doing 14 Shots to the Dome and the Youngsters, No Mercy album and Lords of the Underground. I like that Marley, like House of Hits Marley with K Duff. You
Yes.
know, cause I'm looking back at like the Juice Crew stuff. I'm like, he only did like maybe one or two albums for them, and then like they got other producers involved after. You know what I'm saying? After Kane's second album, he didn't do shit with Kane after that. Went off to Teddy Riley and Trackmasters and Easy Mo being them.
He did do some shit on Taste of Chocolate though. He did do some shit.
Right.
That was
When
good.
you look at uh Master Ace, he only did like what, like one album for Ace before Ace went off and did the INC shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like there's so much other stuff that he did outside of the Juice Crew that the CNN stuff, and like I said, building his crew with K Duff and having the youngsters and Roll Renown and Sabi and them, and Lords of the Underground, and you know what I mean. So I feel like Ella, the LL Cool J stuff. I love Mom Said Knock You Out. I think that's, to me, his best produced album. And like, if it wasn't for Marley, I don't think LL, like, how much of a legend would LL be right now? We not talking about that album. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he never came out with Mama Said Knock You Out, would he still be a legend? You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good.
That to me was like his defining album right there. And then it was like everything after that. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Smith comes out, and that was he did shit on Mr. Smith. The no, it was well, I heard he did no airplay, but people saying that it wasn't really him. It was Chad Elliott or something like that.
I never heard that. Wow.
But
Okay.
they said I heard Marley did the beat, but I don't know if he got the credit for that joint. But I love it. I love Marley needs to be discussed more. You know, but yeah, I like '90s Marley more than '80s Marley.
I feel you.
You know, and even on Cuban Link too, he did a Pirates version. Even though it's short,
That was
it's a
dope.
short joint. But I wish that joint was longer. But he gave Raekwon a nice little short beat.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, man.
yeah, man.
Um. So I do. Do you have any honorable mentions or no?
No,
Uh,
I tried to keep it like just Juice Crew, but I don't like the Roxanne stuff or the MC Shan stuff, the Craig G stuff. I don't care for.
I feel
You
you.
know,
I have a few. I have a few more. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
some we might have to do a whole another video with legends that don't have we already did that. Legends that don't have a classic. We already did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have included the Chan and Craig G and Roxanne. Hey, I don't like none of the album.
I
You
feel
know.
you. Um. Honestly, I do have a few honorable mentions and shit.
Mm.
I gotta go with that In Control Volume One from Marley Marl. This was so close to making my list and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? This was pretty much the template for like the producer hip hop albums and shit. This was when the original symphony was on this record. Dropping Science from Craig G, Heavy D and Biz Markie rewrite the songs. You know what I'm saying? Very dope album and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this album was definitely a game changer when it came to hip hop. Um, I know you don't like this album. I don't give a fuck. Roxy and Shantae, the bitch is back.
Oh Lord. Uh,
Her best album, in my opinion. This is one she went a bit more hard. For one, Cool G Rap did a lot of the production and writing on this album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Songs like this album even had one of the best diss tracks of all time, Big Mama, which she went in on every female rapper at that time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They had a song called Brothers Ain't Shit, which actually prompted Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg to do that song Bitches Ain't Shit.
Of
A lot of
course.
people, a lot of people thought that was just a diss to Easy E, but that was really an answer track to Roxanne Shante. Not a
Mm,
lot of people know that. But yeah, that album was fire, and you had early track masters on that too.
mm,
Intelligent Hoodlum with the I'm gonna go with the self-titled album and stuff like that too. Fire album, you know. Again, you had Marley Marl on the album, but then Large Professor also did a good part of the album too. You know, songs like Arrest the President, um, what's that one song he did? Track Invasion and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Very dope album. I've always felt like that might be my favorite Tragedy Gaddafi album, Intelligent Hoodlum, whatever. I got two more honorable mentions. I got I'm gonna take it back for y'all. Kid Capri with the Tape album.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Yes, Kid Capri. He was a member of the Juice Crew at one point. You know what I'm saying? Biz Markie and Cool V did the production and stuff like that too. You know, he has songs like Billy. You know what I'm saying? Which I think that was one of the first times that the barge sample was used in hip hop. I'm not gonna
right.
say what sample it is. Y'all know. Y'all should know when you hear it. And then he had a song called Apollo. Oh my God, I love Apollo. That was my joint
Right.
and everything like that too. And the last honorable mention, I gotta take it back to my man G Rap with that fucking 456.
Mm,
So technically, this was the last album that G Rap came out with. Not just this was technically the last official studio album that G Rap came out. Well, last official studio album of Cold Chillin' Records. Excuse me.
right.
I'm not gonna count the compilation, that rated XXX compilation, because that's again a compilation of unreleased tracks. But 456 Fire album is crazy because Cool G Rap have said many times he never really cared for this album like that because he felt like he rushed it and everything like that too, which
Mm,
I feel like it was crazy as hell because this. I mean, I can see where he's coming with it. You know, I can see where he's coming from it because again, this was like a time of cold chilling was about to end and everything, and it already lost its distribution to Warner Brothers because of the whole cop killer and then the Bismarcky sample clearance thing majig. But
mm,
456 had joints like It's a Shame, Take Him to War, Fast Life, which I want to piss off a lot of people, but I kind of prefer the Buck Wild remix over the original version just because I never cared for that surface sample. I like the song. G Rap and Nas did their thing, but the beat, I don't know. I like the remix beat more, in my opinion.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
One of my favorite joints, "Blowing Up in the World." The way they flipped that Bobby Caldwell sample, oh my god! I picture myself in the snow, walking in the snow, just listen to that song and shit like that in my fur coat and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was my honorable mentions and shit like that too.
Well, my honorable mention is definitely 456.
Yeah,
I was just keeping it to Juice Crew stuff, but 456 is great. And I mean, and I love the latter Master Ace albums, like Slaughterhouse and Sitting on Chrome,
facts.
Disposable Arts. Sonny Yvonne. I like his.
Ooh,
I think he got better with his latter stuff.
I agree. Well,
You
he's
know.
always been consistent. He's always been consistent to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I would include the Master Ace Incorporated shit, but
Mm,
I don't know. I mean, it's Juice Crew, yes, but it didn't really have that Juice Crew sound because it was like his
right.
own. He was trying to do his own thing, which I respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
Now, if it was like Disposable Arts, Long Hot Summer, then
Mhm,
yeah, you went to like that's like more of a back to the basics kind of joint. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Whenever this EP comes out, we just want to be ahead of the term. Give love to the Juice Crew. Show motherfuckers we don't always just talk about the same old shit all the time and
Right.
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all look at that Juice Crew discography. Y'all be surprised how many people feel like remember the Jizza had that Words from the Genius album,
Mm.
which he was known as the genius. I might have to talk about that. I'm gonna if I get it, I'm gonna talk about it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not in the rush to talk about that one. Even I don't think Jizz is in the rush for people to talk about that one. But
Wow.
yeah, I do. Any final thoughts?
The Juice Crew, they legendary crew. I wish they had some classics for Shannon, for Craig G, and rest in peace to like the fallen members from the crew.
Definitely rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yes. Polo, Bismarck Key, rest in peace. Yes, sir. Other than that, appreciate this try as usual. You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying? Hope y'all have a good day. Happy holidays, since I want to drop this in December allegedly. Peace.
Peace.